She was nothing but a pawn in his power game, a fragile heart forced into a loveless marriage. But 5 years later, when he saw her again, she wasn't alone. A billionaire stood beside her. And the woman he once humiliated was now a queen. But how did it all begin? Let's go back to where it all started. 5 years ago. The cold wedding. It was supposed to be the happiest day of Luna's life. But her eyes, full of silent storms, betrayed the smile on her lips. The grand wedding hall sparkled with gold and crystals, but her groom, Levi Moreau, the ruthless CEO of Moreau Enterprises, stood like stone at the altar. Levi whispers coldly as she reaches him. "You're lucky, Luna. Many girls would kill to be Mrs. Moreau." Luna, softly with trembling lips. "I didn't marry you for your money, Levi. I loved you." But love had no place in Levi's world. This marriage wasn't about hearts. It was a contract. Merger. An arrangement. That night, Luna waited for her husband in their penthouse, wearing the dress he never noticed. The lights stayed off. Levi never came home. She thought time would melt his coldness. But the pain had only just begun. Days passed. Then weeks. And one morning, as Luna opened a drawer in Levi's study, she found a hidden letter, with her name scribbled on it. Luna reading the letter slowly, her eyes widening in shock. Letter. She doesn't know she's just a placeholder. The real bride returns in December. Who was the real bride? And what secret was Levi hiding from her? Luna staring at the ocean from the balcony, tears falling freely now. She had given her heart to a man who saw her as nothing. But the universe had other plans. And destiny was only getting started. A year had passed. Luna tried, she truly tried. She dressed up for their anniversary dinner, wearing the red silk dress he once complimented in passing. The table was set, candles lit, soft jazz playing. But Levi never showed up. Luna blowing out the candle alone, her smile forced but fading. She didn't cry. Not this time. Because pain had become a language she understood too well. The next morning, as Luna entered the company's gala with Levi, the room suddenly fell silent. All eyes turned to the entrance. A woman walked in. Fierce. Dressed in crimson. Her name was Selena Rousseau, Levi's first love. Selena, smirking at Luna. "Oh, so you're the replacement." Luna gently. "I'm his wife." Selena. "For now." Luna didn't flinch. But something inside her cracked again. Later that night, Levi and Selena laughed over champagne. Reporters circled them. And Luna. She was left behind like a shadow. A journalist approached her. Reporter. "Mrs. Moreau, how does it feel seeing your husband with his ex-fiancée?" Levi coldly. "She knows her place." And just like that, he shattered her in front of the world. But what he didn't know was that karma had already begun to spin its web. That night, Luna locked herself in the guest room. She opened a notebook where she once wrote dreams. Now she scribbled a single vow. "Luna. One day, I'll be more than a forgotten wife. I'll be someone no one dares to humiliate again." Luna walking out into the night, eyes full of quiet fire. He broke her. But every queen rises from ruin. It was past midnight. Luna stood outside the gala, barefoot and tear-streaked, her heels in one hand. She walked toward the roadside when a sleek black car pulled up beside her. The window rolled down, revealing a man with silver eyes and a quiet authority in his voice. "Stranger. You don't belong in their world of cruelty. Get in." Luna, suspicious yet calm. "And why would I trust a man I've never met?" Stranger, with a small smile. "Because I see fire in you. And I know how to turn it into power." His name was Alaric Thorne, a billionaire investor. Mysterious, feared. And unlike Levi, he noticed the pain behind her silence. Inside the quiet luxury of his office the next day, Alaric laid out an offer. "Alaric, I run an empire of my own. Not everything is about numbers, sometimes it's about potential. You have it. Luna. I'm not qualified for high positions. Alaric, cutting her off. You're more qualified than anyone I've met. You just don't know your worth yet. He slid over a contract. Executive assistant. Triple the industry pay. Travel. Freedom. Growth. For the first time in years, someone looked at Luna and didn't see a burden. He saw brilliance buried beneath heartbreak. Back at the Moreau mansion, Levi noticed her absence. Levi to his assistant. She didn't come home last night. Assistant. No, sir. She also cancelled all her social appearances. And she's no longer using the driver. The leash was slipping. And Levi didn't even realize he was starting to look back, too late. Luna in her new office, standing beside a glass wall overlooking the skyline. Alaric walks in. Alaric. I believe in second lives. Not everyone gets one. You did. Luna, with a soft but determined smile. Then I won't waste it. From pain rose purpose. But could Luna truly outrun her past? Or would love find her in the most unexpected place? It had been just 2 months. Luna walked into Thorn International in a sharp black suit. Her hair was tied back in a sleek bun. Confidence radiated from her every step. She was no longer just Mrs. Moreau. She was Luna, independent, brilliant, and reborn. Colleague whispering, "Who is she?" Another softly, "Mr. Thorne's new right hand. She's unstoppable." Luna didn't just survive. She evolved. Alaric entered with Luna at his side. All eyes turned. Cameras flashed. And standing across the ballroom, Levi Moreau. He froze. His glass slipped slightly in his hand. The woman walking beside Alaric Thorne, powerful, elegant, radiant, was his wife. Levi to himself stunned. Luna. For a man used to control, nothing rattled him more than seeing what he could no longer command. Levi approached, his voice low, almost uncertain. Levi. So, this is where you've been. Luna calm cool. I don't owe you explanations anymore. Levi. You're still my wife. Alaric stepping in. Correction. A woman you once owned is now a woman building empires beside me. The man who once ignored her now felt the sting of absence. And the man beside her. He saw her as a queen, before the crown even touched her head. Back in his office, Levi slammed the door. Levi to his assistant. Find everything you can about Alaric Thorne. Now. Jealousy, sharp and blinding, had begun to bleed through Levi's pride. But was it regret, or possession? Later that night, Luna stood alone on her balcony. Alaric joined her, 2 glasses of wine in hand. Alaric. You held your ground well tonight. Luna. I didn't shake. I didn't cry. Alaric softly. And that is how queens are born. But just as Luna stepped into her power, shadows from the past stirred. And what Levi does next may threaten everything. A knock echoed through Luna's new penthouse. She opened the door and froze. Levi. Dressed in a black suit, a bouquet in hand. The same man who once ignored her now stood like a stranger. Levi quietly. I didn't come to fight. I just wanted to talk. Luna guarded. About what? The years you silenced me. Or the woman you humiliated me for. Levi softly. I made mistakes. I see that now. But some apologies come too late. And some wounds can't be soothed with flowers. They sat awkwardly. Levi. I want you to come back. I'm ready to be the man you deserve. Luna holding back emotion. You're 5 years too late, Levi. I begged you back then to see me. Now that someone else does. Suddenly I matter. Levi pleading. I never stopped caring. Luna cold smile. You never started. Levi saw a queen standing in front of him. But her throne no longer belonged beside him. As Levi exited the building, Alaric stepped out of his car and saw him. Their eyes locked. Alaric calm but firm. I hope your visit wasn't meant to confuse her. Levi. She's still my wife. Alaric approaching slowly. No, Levi. She's still your lesson. Later that night, Luna returned to her apartment and found a small box waiting for her. Inside, a pendant. Delicate. Gold. Engraved with the words, "You were never invisible." No note. No name. But Luna knew. It was from Alaric. For the first time, love didn't come with chains. It came with space. And quiet protection. Scene. Luna standing by her window, holding the pendant, her heart in conflict. One man let her fall. One man wants her to fly. But the road to healing is never simple. In the sleek conference room at Thorne International, Alaric stood at the head of the table. His eyes met Luna's, serious, focused. Alaric, we're launching in Europe next quarter. And I want you to lead the expansion team. Gasps echoed around the room. Executives shifted, surprised. Executive. She's not even a director yet. Alaric firmly. She will be. Effective today, Luna Monroe is promoted to partner. Luna's breath hitched. Her hands trembled under the table. The girl they once overlooked was now becoming a global force. Meanwhile, Levi paced his office, jaw clenched. Levi. She thinks she's untouchable now. He turned to his assistant. Levi. Schedule a joint corporate event. Make sure Thorne International is invited. And Luna. It wasn't about love anymore. It was about ego and control. That evening, Luna stood on the rooftop terrace. Alaric joined her, the city lights reflecting in his eyes. Alaric gently. You don't owe me anything. But I need to ask, are you still holding on to Levi? Luna was silent. Then she turned to face him. Luna. I'm not holding on. I'm healing. Alaric. Good. Because I don't want to replace your pain. I want to build something better with you. When you're ready. No pressure. No games. Just genuine love waiting patiently in the shadows. At the upcoming corporate gala, Luna arrived in a navy satin gown, elegant, commanding. She stood beside Alaric, now as his equal. When Levi entered, his smile faltered. Levi to himself. She's unrecognizable. Midway through the event, the press surrounded them. Reporter. Mr. Moreau, how do you feel about your wife being promoted by your biggest competitor? Levi tight smile. She's still part of my story. Luna stepping in. No, Mr. Moreau. You're part of my past. I write my story now. Flashes. Whispers. It was the moment the world realized. She was never just a wife. She was a woman made of steel and grace. Back in the shadows of the gala, Levi made a call. Levi low voice. She won't win this easily. If I can't have her, neither will he. Love brought her freedom. Power brought her strength. But darkness still lingers. And Levi's next move could destroy everything. Luna had risen beyond every limit set on her. She stood tall beside a billionaire. No longer someone's shadow, but her past wasn't finished with her yet. And Levi had just fired his first shot. The morning light poured into Luna's office. She was reviewing European launch plans when her assistant rushed in, pale and breathless. Assistant. Ma'am, it's online. Everywhere. Luna turned her laptop screen. Her photo, crying barefoot outside that gala 5 months ago, was plastered on gossip sites. Headline. The embarrassing wife, from humiliation to a billionaire's bed? Her stomach dropped. Her hands trembled slightly. The photo was cruel. But the captions. Levi had leaked the past, hoping to ruin her future. Within minutes, Alaric entered the office. Alaric, quietly powerful. We'll issue a statement. We'll bury the gossip. Luna, voice shaking. No. Let them see it. Alaric paused. Luna. I'm not ashamed of how I rose. Let them know I survived. Let them know I bled. And I'm still here. She wasn't just a partner in business. She was becoming a symbol for every woman ever told she wasn't enough. Later that day, Luna walked straight into Levi's office. Bold. Uninvited. Luna, calm but dangerous. You really thought you could shame me back into silence? Levi, mocking. The world always finds out the truth, sweetheart. Luna, stepping closer. The truth is this. You lost a woman who would have gone through fire for you. And now, I am the fire. She turned and walked out. Doors slammed behind her. That evening, Luna appeared live on a women's empowerment panel. No filters. No handlers. Host. What would you say to the woman in that viral photo? Luna, smiling gently. I'd tell her thank you. For not giving up. For standing alone that night. Because now, she never has to again. The crowd applauded. Hashtags trended. Hashtag Rise Like Luna flooded the internet. Alaric watches the interview from his penthouse. He turns to his advisor. Alaric. She's more than I thought. And I thought she was extraordinary. But on the other side of the city, Levi lights a cigar and makes another call. Levi. She thinks this is about pride. Let's show her what war really looks like. When a woman rises, some men build beside her, and others try to burn her down. Alaric's office. The lights flicker. His CFO storms in, panic in his voice. CFO. Sir, 5 international deals just collapsed. Paris. Dubai. Tokyo. Backers pulled out. Suddenly without reason. Alaric coldly. Levi Moreau. He stood, fury simmering just beneath his calm exterior. It wasn't just business. It was sabotage. And Levi had made it personal. Luna entered as Alaric threw a file onto the table. Papers detailing a chain of deals connected to Levi's affiliates. Luna, in disbelief. He's ruining your empire, because of me? Alaric. No. Because he can't stand the idea of you choosing someone else. Luna. I can fix this. I'll talk to him. Alaric, firmly. You owe him nothing. You didn't break him. He broke you. But love doesn't seek sacrifice. Protects. Even when it's at risk of being lost. Luna received a private invitation. One word written in gold. Dinner? She went. Levi waited in a candlelit room. All charm and venom. Levi. I'll restore every deal. I'll stop the attacks. But only if you come back to me. Luna stared at him, stunned. Luna. You'd buy me with my own pain. Levi leaning in. I'd own you again with your silence. That night, Luna stood alone by the ocean, wind sweeping through her hair. Alaric arrived, silent, sensing the storm in her eyes. Alaric. If you walk away to protect what I built, I'll never forgive you. Luna. He's not just attacking you. He's threatening everything we built. Alaric, taking her hand. Then we fight him. Together. The next morning, Luna held a press conference. Luna, strong, unflinching. I won't be silenced by wealth, by men, or by threats. Let the world know, I'm not afraid. And Levi, watching from a private lounge, crushed his glass in his hand. She didn't run. She didn't bow. The queen stood her ground. And Levi realized. He might have just created his greatest enemy. Alaric, Luna, and a select few executives met in a sleek, high-rise boardroom. Alaric. We can't just defend. We go after his foundation. His partners, his contracts, his image. Luna pulled out a dossier she'd prepared herself. Luna. Levi's empire was built on secrets. I used to stay quiet. Not anymore. She knew every hidden deal, every backdoor contract. Not because she spied, because once upon a time, she was the one cleaning up his mess. In Paris, a luxury hotel chain abruptly pulled out of Levi's expansion plans. In Dubai, a former investor released a statement citing ethical misalignment. In New York, an expose aired. Behind the empire, the rise and rot of Levi Moreau. Levi's phone rang nonstop. His PR team was drowning. Levi yelling. Who's feeding them this? Who's leaking these files? Silence. Sometimes a woman doesn't destroy you with fire. She buries you in truth. Luna received an anonymous envelope. Inside, an old photo of her, much younger, much sadder, crying in a hospital waiting room. Scribbled on the back, "Ask Levi what he did 5 years ago." Her hands went cold. She thought she knew everything Levi had done. But some betrayals were buried deeper than pain. Luna walked into Levi's office unannounced. She tossed the photo on his desk. "Luna, calm, dark. You didn't just destroy our marriage. Did you lie about my miscarriage too?" Levi stiffened. His eyes gave away more than his lips. Levi flatly, "It wasn't your time to be a mother." Luna shaking, "You stole my child from me." A slap echoed through the room. And Levi didn't stop her. "Some betrayals don't kill you. They turn you into someone the world can no longer silence." Later, Luna sat in Alaric's penthouse, eyes red, heart shattered. Luna whispering, "He lied. He stole everything. Even the life I never got to hold." Alaric pulled her gently into his arms. "Alaric, then let's take everything back. Not just for you, but for the life that never had a chance." This wasn't just about love anymore. It was about justice. And Luna was no longer the broken wife. She was the storm. Inside his dim-lit office, Alaric met with a former Moreau insider, nervous, glancing over his shoulder. "Insider, if Levi finds out I spoke to you." Alaric calmly, "He won't. But if you help Luna get closure, you'll never have to fear him again." The insider slid a flash drive across the table. "Insider, there's more. So much more." Luna and Alaric sat side by side, hearts pounding as the flash drive loaded. A folder appeared. Project Eve. Inside were surveillance videos, audio logs, and documents, all about a private clinic Levi secretly funded. One file revealed a shocking detail. Luna's pregnancy wasn't lost. It was terminated without her consent. She gasped. Her hands flew to her mouth. She didn't lose her child. Levi stole it with a signature. And a lie. The next morning, Luna made her move. She walked into the headquarters of Levi's most powerful investor. Publicly, confidently. Flash drive in hand. "Luna, to the board. This is what your partner has buried. And this is who you're funding." By noon, 3 of Levi's top investors had pulled out. His name trended online for all the wrong reasons. Levi stood alone in his penthouse. Lights off. Drink in hand. He stared at a torn wedding photo and a sonogram image he'd kept hidden in a drawer. Levi whispering, "She was mine. She was mine." But power had replaced love. Control had buried guilt. And now, he was alone. Later that evening, Alaric walked Luna to the garden terrace. Alaric, quietly, "I want to protect you forever. But I also need you to know. I'm in love with you." Luna froze. The wind stirred her hair, her heart trembling with the weight of everything. Luna whispering, "I've spent years healing from a man who never truly loved me. And you waited without asking." Alaric, "I didn't fall in love with the woman you became. I fell for the one who never stopped fighting to become her." Their eyes locked. But just as Luna leaned in, her phone buzzed. Text from unknown. "You think you've won. Meet me alone. I have something yours." Her heart dropped. Just as Luna finds a glimpse of peace, a shadow reaches for her from the past. What did Levi mean? What else has he kept from her? The abandoned warehouse loomed in front of Luna. She pulled up in her car, uncertainty gnawing at her insides. Luna, whispering to herself, "This ends tonight." As she walked inside, the cold air brushed against her skin. She saw Levi, sitting at a table in the center, eyes locked on her. "Levi, sit down, Luna. We need to talk." Levi had lost everything. But in his desperation, he still believed one last confession could break her. Luna sat facing him. Her body was rigid, every muscle tense, prepared for whatever came next. Luna coldly. I'm here. What do you want? Levi leaned forward, his eyes burning with something darker than regret. Levi, you think you know everything. The miscarriage, the lies, the secrets. But there's something you don't know. He paused, his voice thick with emotion. Levi softly. It wasn't just your pregnancy I took. It was your future. I paid someone to pretend to be you. To ruin everything. I knew you'd go on to become stronger than me. And I couldn't live with that. Luna's breath caught in her throat. Luna, shaking her head. No, you're lying. You can't. Levi interrupting. I'm not. I knew you would find out eventually. You were always the one I couldn't control, Luna. He stared at her for a long moment, eyes filled with guilt. Levi. But there's something I haven't told you. The child we lost was never meant to be taken from you. Hey. I've been trying to make up for that ever since. The truth was ugly. The lies were poison. And yet, Levi finally spoke the words that could never undo the damage. Luna stood, shaking with anger, betrayal flooding her chest. Luna, through clenched teeth. Is that supposed to make everything better? You took my child. You destroyed my life. And now, after everything, you think this apology fixes it. Her voice broke, but she swallowed hard, her gaze cold. Luna, don't ask for forgiveness. It's too late for that. She turned, walking toward the door, the weight of his confession dragging her down. But Levi's voice stopped her. Levi quietly. I didn't mean for you to lose everything. You deserved more. Luna froze, not turning around. A single tear slid down her cheek, but she quickly wiped it away. Luna whispering. I deserved the truth. From the very beginning. She left the room, her footsteps echoing in the silence. Back in the comfort of Alaric's penthouse, Luna stood by the window, staring out at the city lights. Alaric entered quietly, placing his hand on her shoulder. Alaric, do you feel better? Did it help? Luna turned to face him, her eyes red, but her posture firm. Luna softly. Closure is a lie. Alaric gently. You don't need closure. You need peace. Luna met his gaze, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and hope. Luna, I can't change the past, but I can create the future. My future. She stepped closer to him, her hand finding his. In that moment, Luna realized that the only thing worth holding onto was the love that had never left her side. The love that was always steady, always true. The next day, Levi stood in his penthouse, watching Luna's press statement replay on the news. Levi, to himself, quietly broken. She was the best thing I ever had. And I destroyed her. He took a long breath and walked to his desk. His phone buzzed with a message from an anonymous number. X. I'm still here. I'm not finished with you yet. Levi's face darkened as he read the message. His eyes widened with recognition. The past wasn't finished with him either. And someone else was waiting to make him pay. Luna stood in a grand boardroom, a new name etched on the company's headquarters. Moreau Enterprises, Rebirth. Alaric by her side, she confidently addressed the board of directors. Luna, I'm not here to play by Levi's rules. I'm here to build something new. We are here to reclaim what was lost. The room buzzed with excitement and respect. A new era was beginning, not just for the company, but for Luna herself. Meanwhile, across the city, Levi sat in his now empty penthouse. His empire crumbled around him, once powerful investors pulling away, his reputation in tatters. He received a call. He looked at the name on the screen. Anonymous. Levi with a hollow voice. Who is this? Voice on the other end calm, cold. You didn't learn, did you? You thought you could destroy everything in your path, but now you're the one left with nothing. The line went dead. Levi looked at the window, watching the sunset. In the end, revenge didn't bring peace. It only left him with emptiness. Luna stood on a rooftop, the wind sweeping through her hair as she gazed out at the city. Alaric joined her, standing silently beside her. They'd both come so far, through pain, loss, and unimaginable trials. But now it was their time to write their own future. Alaric, gently, with warmth. You did it. You've reclaimed what was always yours. Luna, smiling softly. I didn't just reclaim what was mine, Alaric. I found something I never thought I'd have, peace. Her eyes met his, full of depth, full of understanding. They had been through the fire. Together, they had risen from the ashes. Luna whispering, "Thank you for never leaving me, for seeing me." And in that moment, as the city below them continued to pulse with life, Luna knew she had found something more than just victory. She had found herself. Weeks later, Luna and Alaric stood in front of a new office building. Her office. The skyline glowed beneath the setting sun, but her eyes weren't on the buildings. She was focused on the future. Luna, I used to dream about this moment. But now, I'm not just dreaming. I'm building. Alaric placed a hand gently on her back. Alaric, with affection. And I'll be right beside you. Every step of the way. Luna turned, her eyes shining with hope. Luna. Together. Levi, standing alone on a balcony, looked at the distant skyline. His life had unraveled so completely. But in that moment, a strange clarity washed over him. He took a deep breath and pulled out the picture of Luna from their happier days, when she had loved him truly. Levi, quietly to himself. Maybe I never understood what love was. But I understand now. With that, he turned and walked back inside. He had nothing left to prove to the world. But perhaps he could find redemption within himself. As Luna and Alaric stood on the terrace, their hands intertwined, a familiar voice called out from the distance. Voice calm, steady. Luna. Alaric. Luna turned slowly. Levi stood there. His posture no longer arrogant but humble. Levi, quietly, with sorrow. I lost everything because of my pride. But I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for a chance to do better. To be better. Luna's eyes searched his face. She had fought for everything she had. She had healed. And she had moved on. But one thing was clear, she had won. Luna, firmly but with understanding. You're right. You lost everything. But that was your choice, Levi. It's too late for apologies. Alaric stepping forward. Luna has found her peace. And with that, she has everything she needs. Levi's eyes flickered with regret. But it was too late. Luna and Alaric turned, walking away, leaving Levi to face the consequences of his own actions. In the end, it wasn't revenge that healed Luna. It was love. True love. And no amount of power or manipulation could ever take that away. She had reclaimed herself. She had become her own queen.